How you doing, folks? Just got done working outside. I rigged up a little bit of like I guess a grill over my burn pit. Had to cut some like metal posts that you would use to put up a fence. Had to cut that down with a grinder and rig it up because my friend gave me the stuff, but it was just scraps from what his father-in-law had forgotten about. So I kind of rigged something up myself. Along with that, I had to kill some bushes because the previous owner of this house decided they wanted to put bushes and flowers right in the middle of the backyard, and it's kind of tough to throw a ball with bushes and stuff in the way. So decided to get rid of that. So I sprayed all of that. Probably gonna have to do some digging though to get rid of all of it. But as of right now, it says that it's 82 degrees outside, and I believe it. It's getting warm, although truth be told, compared to how it was in Georgia, a lot more milder up here. But I'm a fat guy who hates the heat. I just came inside. I want to cool down. I want a beer. Now, what kind of beer would be appropriate for the late spring and early summer? Well, if you want to be, like everyone else, you'd probably go, Mick Ultra or Busch Light. But let's say you want to be a little bit classier. Get you a Kolsch. This is, I'm going to assume Gaffel, Gaffel. Typically, I research like the pronunciation and some other stuff of this beer, but I'm kind of thirsty, so I kind of jumped into this. I got the Beer Advocate post up, as well as a brief description of what a Kolsch is. So this is from Cologne, Germany. Kolsch's typically are from Cologne. Also got a new glass. It's a wine glass, but I don't know, something about a beer poured in a glass like this, a real pale beer, just looks beautiful. But this is, I believe, the most popular Kolsch in Germany. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That is beautiful. Nice head, slightly off-white, light gold in color. But so real quick, what is a Kolsch? A Kolsch is, well, as you can see, a pale, top-fermented beer. Is it a lager? Kind of. Is it an ale? Sort of. It's kind of in between. But it's known for its crisp, clean flavor and a delicate balance of malt and hops. So, you go to somewhere like Munich, a lot of their beers are going to be more malty. You go to other places, sometimes they can be a little bit hoppy. A Kolsch tries to be a round beer, wants to be balanced. It's not going to taste like really dark bread, but it's also not going to taste like, an IPA or anything. This is supposed to be a very easygoing, like I said, crisp, I guess you could say chuggable beer. But yeah, flavor-wise, it says it's supposed to be light-bodied with a delicate balance of malt sweetness and hop bitterness, and it can often have a subtle fruitiness and slightly dry finish. So, to me, what it sounds like, a Kolsch is kind of like a Pilsner, although a Pilsner is a lager, but similar in style, maybe a tad bit lighter though. But like I said, this Gaffel Kolsch is, I'm pretty sure, the most popular Kolsch in Germany, and it is produced by Private Brewery Gaffel Becker Co. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but it's close enough. 4.8% alcohol by volume with a score of 84 on Beer Advocate. Average rating out of 5 is a 3.7. Let's take a whiff. Very light. You get a light white bread characteristic. A lot of the beers I've been drinking lately, or mostly because I drink maltier beers, tend to be kind of a rich, like dark, whole wheat kind of bread, or almost like a cooked biscuit. This, just a very light, kind of sweet white bread with a little bit. I can sense there's hops there, but it's not bitter, really. It's more of just maybe a very subtle citrus note. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a swaller. That's pretty good. which I've noticed most of what I review. The last beer review I put up is probably the worst review I've done, or at least worst beer I reviewed in my own opinion, at least in recent memory. I do a lot of beers that I enjoy, but if I'm going to be a reviewer, I need to drink some of the crap and some of the stuff I just don't care for, along with some of the good stuff. But today, it's another review of the good stuff. This is nice. Mouth feels light. There's a little bit of a hop bitterness there, of course, but it's subtle. You can kind of feel, at least for me, when I feel hops in my mouth, is on the side of my tongue. And I get that they're just like a little, like a tingle or a buzz, if you will. Not like spicy food or anything, but I can definitely, you can feel your tongue react to the hops, but it's not crazy. I'm not a hop guy, but this is very subtle. Well, I wouldn't say subtle. I can tell it's there, but it's complementary. It doesn't jump out from any of the other characteristics of this beer. It works. It's incorporated into the beer. It's not a just punch you in the face, like all I get's hops. No, I get a subtle sweetness as well. I shouldn't even use subtle, because yeah, it's kind of sweet, not sickly sweet. But the hops are there to round out the sweetness, so it's not overly sweet. But it is light, it is crisp, but you get flavor. This isn't Bud Light light. This isn't Michelob Ultra light. This isn't Busch Light kind of light. This is just, it doesn't overstay its welcome. This beer understands that it knows what a Kolsch is, obviously, and that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be anything else. It's meant to be refreshing, and it's very refreshing. Like I said, I'm not a hot weather kind of guy, but this is making me feel better already. Nice lacing on the glass as well. I'll go ahead and pour some more. Also, since this is a product of, Germany, of course, product of Europe, most imported beers are 11.2% alcohol. Not 11.2% alcohol by volume, but 11.2 fluid ounces. Oh, really nice head. Yeah, this is definitely, it's carbonated. It's not to the point where, some beers, like I really enjoy Miller High Life. That's probably my go-to cheap beer, but if you pour it kind of aggressively, it's almost overly carbonated. This, though, it's carbonated, but not overly so. But you can see, the bubbles rising. There's a slight haziness, or maybe that's just the glass. Now, there's a slight haziness. It's not like, IPA kind of hazy. It's nothing like that. But there's a slight haze to it. Let's see. I want to see real quick some other, what other people have to say about this. We got here a 3.27 out of 5, clear yellow color, white medium-sized head, aroma of malt, fruit, and herb. I think I kind of get what he's saying by herb. I get that is subtle, but mostly I get very light white bread with a hint of like a citrus fruit note. Malty taste with pleasant hoppy bitterness, light as expected for the style. Next one is a 4.28 out of 5, easy to drink, sweet, bready, solid beer. One last one, on tap at Gaffel House in Cologne. Clear golden body with an average frothy white head. Yes, you probably can't see that, but the texture, it's not just like a uniform, it's a little bit almost rocky, a rocky head, and that looks, God, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Frothy white head, mostly diminishing with fair lacing. I would say it's even more than fair. It's not quite, as far as, I know I keep mentioning Miller High Life, but as far as like lacing goes on a glass, Miller High Life's like my gold standard, because if you've ever drunk a Miller High Life out of the glass, once you're done, you can tell there was a Miller High Life in there by all the lacing. This isn't quite that, but it's not too far from it. Yeah, it's nice. Moderate, malty, they say hay and hoppy, citrus, I agree. The hops aren't just a bittering agent. They're a flavoring agent, but some beers use hops, mostly just to make the beer bitter. And in some situations, I guess that works, but that's not what I look for in a beer. If I want beer that the hops are definitely present, that's fine sometimes, but I want to get the citrus kind of fruity notes from the hops. I don't want just like, hey, here's bitterness with a hint of like pine needles. That's not really what I look for in a more hoppier beer. Moderately sweet and bitter flavor with a bitterish finish. Light to medium body with watery texture, average carbonation. Yeah, excuse me. That's pretty close. One more actually. 4 to 5, light beer, low carbonation. I'd say it's more of a medium. No off flavors. I can agree with that. Very clean. Drank from a mini can, absolutely crushable. Yeah, it checks out. Nothing noteworthy flavor-wise, but just a good light beer. We'll buy again. Here you go. I have nothing to complain about that. That's a spot-on observation I gotta agree with. It's light, it's bright, it's crisp. Is this beer gonna change your life? No. Is it gonna be something that I'm like, I have to have more of this? I was about to say no, but I don't know. If I'm going fishing or something, or I'm going to a race, although if I'm going to a race, I need to be able to find this in cans, which I don't know if I'll be able to. Only place I've seen this at is the Total Wine. And I think they only sell it in singles, at least at my Total Wine. I'll need to I'll need to go back and look. They might have 6-packs of this, and if they do, I'll definitely buy this again. I'm kind of mad I only have one, because now I want to have another. As far as the rating goes, typically for lighter things, I don't give as high of a rating, but this is a Kolsch. This is the style. This is what it's supposed to be. For the style of a Kolsch, this is a 9 out of 10. This is really good, or a 4.5 out of 5, if you will, but for me, I do out of 10. 9 out of 10. This is just, you look at the notes of what a Kolsch is, and this is perfect. This is exactly what a Kolsch is. This is exactly what you want out of a Kolsch. And God, it's just like one of the dudes or one of the reviews mentioned, it's clean. There's no off notes, and that is really good. Like, I can pick out exactly what's there. There's nothing hanging out in the background. It's like, what's that? And it's like, there's no kind of like wet cardboard note. There's nothing like that. Everything seems like it was put there specifically because it needs to be there, and it all the flavors come together for a near perfect package. I'm not much of a, like I said, I kind of go for a little bit more malty beer, but I'm gonna have to try some more Kolsches, because as far as German, I think this is my only German Kolsch I've had. I've had some, craft Kolsches, and some of them are good, some of them are kind of meh. A lot of times with craft beer manufacturers, they try to do a little too much and kind of go outside of the style, which is something I don't like, Kolsches are made to be a Kolsch. A Doppelbock's a Doppelbock, a Dunkel's a Dunkel. These brewing traditions have been around for hundreds of years. I don't need some hipster with some douchey mustache, which I kind of miss my mustache. But with a douchey mustache, I can't talk today. Thinking he knows better and trying to reinvent the style or introduce it in a more American way, like kind of make a fusion of style. No, shut up, sit down. I don't need that crap. I need more stuff like this. That's probably why I like Sam Adams. A lot of their styles are pretty basic, very older style of beer, just done in the United States. But I digress. 9 out of 10. Fantastic. If you can find it and it's a warm day, go ahead, get you 1, 2, maybe even 3, and they'll go down pretty quick, because man, that is really smooth. But and it's light, but it's not nothing. You can taste it. It's not just piss water. I'm just gonna shut up because I keep rambling. I already told you what I think about it. It's a good, light drinking, pale beer. 9 out of 10. If you see it, grab it. Anyway, thank you. Have a good day and a pleasant tomorrow.